windy today.
A little bit. I'm Jason.
And I'm Rae.
And today is warranty work part 2. We got to take our rig back in, and we think we jinxed ourselves with how well it went last time.
Was so smooth. We were raving fans of this shop, but yes, definitely jinxed ourselves because this second half of the process has definitely not been as smooth. We're gonna go drop off the rig, and when we get back, we'll update you on what's been happening. So we now have dropped off the trailer. We're back at our campground. We have our easy up set up, so we're not gonna bake today. Carmen's back there having the time of her life chewing on sticks. So I wanted to give you a brief rundown of what's been happening. We don't want to get like too lengthy or too into complaining. Like, we just want to give you the facts because we feel that we learned a lesson out of this process that we will share with you later. So we are in Orlando for 3 weeks. We knew we were going to be here for 3 weeks. We travel frequently, which is why we've put off getting warranty work done, because they normally need your rig for an extended period of time, and we just don't have that. So we made an appointment with them the first day of our 3 weeks in town, and that was the day of our last video. I'll link it up here, where everything went great. They did a walkthrough of the rig, they confirmed the parts that were broken, they ordered 4 parts, and they fixed everything else. So we were really happy that day. And when we left that day, we were told that we were good to go, parts were ordered, they're just waiting on approval, and we have a contact at Rae and Jason for warranty work, and we have a contact at Lipper. Lipper owns this shop that we are going through. So we told them we have contacts, they're on board, they realize that we need these parts quickly, so if you need any assistance at all, like, feel free to reach out to these 2 people and they will help you. And they said, no, we're good, we don't even need these contacts, but thanks for the information and we'll keep you posted. So we left feeling great. Fast forward 2 weeks, we didn't hear from them. It was now the Friday before our next appointment, which was on that following Tuesday. And so I decided to call and check in. And when I called, the woman who answered the phone literally acted like she had no idea who I was. She didn't know what I was talking about, that we ordered parts, and I just knew things were gonna go downhill from there. So she put me on a long hold, looked up our information, and came back and said, oh, your parts haven't been ordered. So I asked her what was going on with that, and she put me on another long hold, and then she came back and said, oh, well, they've been ordered, but we don't know where they are. Basically saying, oh no, we ordered them, it's not our fault, they're just lost in the system. So she said that she would have a tech look into it further and give me a call back. And it was about noon on Friday, and I said, okay, well, my appointment's next Tuesday to put the parts in, so if you need to like place a rush order, reach out to our contact at Rae and Jason or our contact at Lipper. And so she said, don't worry about it, a tech's gonna look into it and call me back. Of course, I didn't hear back on Friday, so then Monday morning I called and I asked what was going on, and she just started like trying to give us some sob story about how they were recently acquired by Lipper, and so things are a little unorganized. And so frankly, we told her that we weren't really interested in hearing that. We just want to know where our parts are, and let's just get this process moving. Let's just get the parts. She ended up putting us with her warranty work guy that orders the parts, and so he again didn't really give us any explanation as to what happened. We kind of know they just dropped the ball and they didn't order the parts, and now they were scrambling trying to order the parts last minute. One of the big parts was our kingpin, And so we knew we don't want to continue on this journey with the kingpin we have. Like, we really need that. We need that part. And so he said he was working with our contact at Lippert to order these parts. We're good, you know, like, we're going to get it under control. And he was blaming it on our contact at Lippert, saying that it was his fault. He didn't order the part properly and whatever. So of course I hang up the phone with him and I call the guy at Lippert, our contact that we've been working with for over a month. And I just told him, hey, just want to let you know this guy is blaming that the reason we don't have our kingpin is because of you. So he's looking through his system. He's trying to find, like, if he dropped the ball, and it turns out that they never ordered it. Surprise, surprise. So they actually didn't even order it that day. So that morning, as he's telling me on the phone that it's Lippert's fault, they didn't even place the order for the kingpin yet. I asked our guy at Lippert to call the warranty work guy and to just, like, get it handled. That's kind of where we left it. We didn't make our appointment on Tuesday. The guy called us back on Wednesday and said, can you come in tomorrow, which was yesterday. So he said, can you come in tomorrow, drop off the rig? I couldn't order a kingpin in time. They couldn't ship it fast enough. So I found an upgraded kingpin that we will give you for no charge.
So this brings us to today, which we continue to have issues. So we go to drop off the rig when they told us to, and we pull up and we go to unhitch, and, like, the staff comes out, or the techs come out, and they're like, oh, this is great. Instead of driving your truck back there, we'll just drop it here and we'll bring it back with a forklift. So they do that, and the techs are great. And we go back inside, because all we did was hand our keys off to a tech outside, and we were sitting there kind of inquiring, because there was a couple questions about a couple other parts. Like, they focused mainly on the kingpin, and they're like, yes, we're gonna upgrade you, we have it, come in. So we're like, okay, well, what about, like, the other parts? Because we need to get our oven fixed, so it's, like, another big issue. The service people, like, don't even want to talk to us. Like, they're, like, looking away, like, they're...
Yeah.
So we're like, we just want to verify, like, what are you guys doing today? Because we had, like, 6 things, and now we only have 4 because those are the only parts you got. We're sitting there, and then finally they're like, I don't know, let's talk to the parts guy who's sitting right next to him. Not the warranty parts guy that we've been talking to, but, like, the parts department. So we just look over at him, and he's like, oh, you guys want this part? Like, for your oven? Yeah, sure, I think this is it right here.
Yeah,
and
it was just sitting on his desk.
Yeah, and so then he walks up to the payment counter and gives them, like, the receipt for how much it would be. And he's like, you can just pay over here and then take your part and go.
And we're like,
what? We just dropped our rig off. Like, you guys are fixing it. Like, we ordered the part for warranty. And he's like, oh, okay. And then just kind of walks back to his desk.
And just sits there.
And we're like, okay. Like, where's Pat, the guy we've been talking to who ordered all these warranty parts for us? And he's just sitting in, like, a cubicle
in the back, behind the desk.
Yeah, which you can still see him. And he's like, oh, I'm over here. We're like, okay.
But then he doesn't get up
we're
or
like,
say hi. Like, I've only been talking to him on the phone. It was so weird.
And so we're like, okay, can we go back there and talk to him? Like, I can see him through this little window. And they're like, oh, no. Like, the parts guy was like, I'll talk to him. Just sits there on this computer, like, typing stuff, and then picks up the phone to, like, call another person and just says, like, oh, your part is here, and, like, hangs up the phone. Lo and behold, it took 30 minutes of us just sitting there, like, watching them do their day-to-day job, when all we wanted to know was, what parts are you installing? And we kept pestering them, different people, like, can someone just tell us, which part are you installing? And so finally, the parts guy that Rae has been sitting in front of for 30 minutes just goes, oh yeah, you guys are all good. At this point,
and I know he never went and talked to the other guy. So he just didn't want us sitting in front of his desk anymore.
Yeah. We're a little irritated, and so we literally just walked out.
Yeah.
And then Rae just texted Pat and said, what parts are you installing today?
I was like, your front office staff had no idea what was happening. Can you confirm what parts are being put in today? And then he's like, oh, sorry. These 4 parts. Yeah. It took a matter of, like, 5 seconds.
Once again, I mean, it's not big issues. It's just, like, little irritating things. Like, why am I sitting in your store with everyone just doing their little work around me instead of answering my question? Like, it was like people are very afraid of confrontation, but that's only because...
we're not confrontational people. Like, I think...
Yeah, I hate it more than anyone else.
I'm more... I can be, but I don't know why. Like, it just... Nothing really snapped. I didn't feel like getting confrontational. Like, I just wanted to kill him with kindness. They knew they dropped the ball, and I think they just for some reason, not one person in that office of 4 people could just take responsibility and say, we dropped the ball, here's what we're doing to correct it.
Yeah. So, I mean, this brings me to like a big point. Like, most people are humans. Like, honestly, you can get irritated if someone said like, I am so sorry, we forgot, we're ordering it now, we're going to remediate the situation, we're going to get everything we can handled. Basic customer service. If you guys are an RV repair place or a dealer service center and you mess up, just say, I'm sorry, we messed up, and we'll handle it. And then just handle it. Most of this stuff is not hard, right? You order parts. It's not even order parts. You ask for permission from Lippert. Yeah. Lippert says, you got it, and then you order parts. Like, it's a very simple process. Like, there's no blaming it on something else. Like, I feel like a lot of dealers try to do that, like, oh, try to blame it on Grand Design, which these guys try to blame it on Lippert, which if you don't have a contact, you would never know. You're like, oh man, that really sucks. Like, I hate Lippert.
But it wasn't Lippert.
Yeah, but we had a contact. I went and pre-approved all of this stuff because I knew that we were moving fast. We wanted to get it done on our time.
We've talked it through a lot of how we will handle warranty work or any type of work. This really isn't related to warranty work. Yeah. This is the service shop, and I think that this exact scenario would have happened even if we were paying to get our rig fixed. We have solutions on how to fix this going forward. We just want to see how the rest of the day plays out, and how, you know, if they fix what they said they're going to fix today. We will share our thoughts later today, so we better get back to work, and I hope that we're only sitting outside for at the most 4 or 5 hours, but we'll keep you posted and we will let you know how everything goes once we get the rig back. So fingers crossed. All right, we're back. We have the rig back. So one thing that we asked them to fix was this knob stopped screwing for some reason. So, woohoo, we can open this window again. So that's good, they fixed that. And going down to the oven here, we have the oven coming up to temp right now. So the issue with the oven is that the pilot light would go out when the oven would get to temperature. So the pilot light would turn on, it would work, it could stay on all day long. But if you turn the oven to, like, say 400 degrees, it got to 400 degrees and then it turned off because it's at temperature, the whole oven, the bottom piece, would turn off and the pilot light would turn off. When it would drop down below 400, where it normally should turn on again to get back up to 400, it wouldn't turn on again because the pilot light went out. So they fixed that. They replaced the little pilot light part. I still have it on. I'm testing it at different temperatures, but so far so good. That's working. Got our upgraded hitch, so we'll go show you that real quick.
Yep. So we had the original Trail Air that had the issue with the rubber grommet slipping, and so we actually sent them an email asking if they could upgrade us to the Air Ride, and they said no because they fixed the issue. So we were really bummed out because they've been upgrading people. They said we could do it for like $300, and then because this whole snafu, Camping Connection just upgraded us themselves, and they said they'll do it and then ask permission later. So that's for them to figure out. It was very nice of Camping Connection to do. We appreciate it, especially because the ride on this was a little bit nicer, I guess. Maybe it's just psychological because we only went like 2 miles. And the last thing that they needed to do was we had a seal around a baggage door that they needed to replace because it was letting water into our basement, which sucked. Not too much, but enough where I had a towel there and then I would take the towel out every time it rains, and it's just not something you want to do every single time. So they replaced that seal. It looked so nice. It looked like the original seal. Everything was perfect. And then we realized when we opened a different baggage door that they put some crappy seal on that door. So they replaced the wrong baggage door.
Yeah, with crappy seal.
It just looks gross.
Yeah.
So that was just another issue, which brings us to kind of what we realize you need to do to get service you expect.
Yes.
The number one thing is to baby them. So the first time we went in, I literally took blue masking tape and and I put it on anything that I wanted to get fixed. This time, because we had already gone in, they've already looked at everything, they wrote it all down in their system, I guess I was just lazy and I didn't put masking tape everywhere where they needed to fix, like, oh, replace the hitch, replace the seal on this door, because they had already looked at it.
Right.
So that's our fault. I think if we get work done again, I will continue to baby them, like do this, and like writing down is not enough.
Yeah.
So blue masking tape really helps, like see like, oh, what was this? Why is the tape here?
Yeah, and I think in addition to that, it's truly our contact at Lippert that helped push this through. So I think if not only handhold them of what needs to be fixed, like handhold the techs and the repair shop, but you can handhold the parts people, because I think if we had checked in earlier, if we gave them that first full week and then I had called on the following Monday instead of like the following Friday, it wouldn't have been this scramble and like additional anxiety to get everything done. If I had called on Monday and said, hey, did you order the parts? And I could have easily contacted our contact at Lippert and said, hey, under this case number, have the parts been ordered? That would have given us an additional 5 days to get everything instead of this like last minute scramble because they dropped the ball.
I would say like the process that you should follow would be contact your dealer, get an appointment with them for the work need. If you know what needs to be replaced, contact the supplier, whether it's Grand Design, who does some of the stuff, Lippert, Suburban, and the AC Coleman Mach are made by Airxcel. And so contact the different companies and get a case number opened with them and tell them about the problems you're experiencing. And then when you check in with your dealership or service center or mobile tech, give them that case number so that they know they can link it up to that. They don't open a new case. And then also follow up with Lippert or Airxcel or Grand Design to make sure that the service center is ordering parts, and follow up with your service center. All it is just greasing the wheel a little bit, making sure that it runs smoothly instead of letting it just go crazy and then have the dealer blame Grand Design or whatever happens.
Right.
Just be in the know.
Yeah, don't let them play the blame game. And I think a lot of the horror stories I've read about warranty work is that people just drop off their rig because they have time and then they really never check in. They just keep checking in with the service center, and it's like, well, go above them then. So I think a lot of people, I don't know, this might be the unpopular opinion, but I do feel that some people like to complain, so they won't take responsibility for their own situation and just make sure it gets done. Or, you know, I get it that some people do get the short end of the stick and they have to deal with a crappy service center or a non-responsive, you know, parts place. Oh, it's starting to rain. We could go inside.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
That's Florida weather for you. Anyway, my whole point is that just be the bigger person, take control of your situation. Instead of letting things happen to you, you make things happen for you. That's your motivational talk for the day. So I think we're gonna probably just deal with the seals that the one they didn't fix that still leaks and the one that they fixed and it looks like crap. We're just gonna deal with Grand Design directly, our contact there, and just probably have a mobile tech come out and then get reimbursed that way since it's such a small issue. That's one thing I like is our Grand Design guy has been by our side through this whole process, and even like people need to understand that Grand Design and Lippert are two completely different companies. So we were mainly working with the Lippert guy because he had the parts we needed. I'm not going to harass my Grand Design representative because he can't really do anything.
Yeah, I mean, they'll just call the same guy we would call, right?
Yeah.
Because it's different appliances, different manufacturers.
Right. So I'm sure if we didn't want to deal with this situation at all and we were just like so frustrated to the point, we could have just handed it over to our Grand Design rep and been like, you call Lippert, you call Camping Connections, and he would have definitely done that for us. But we also like to be in the know, and I am a little control freak, so we felt that his support, just knowing he supported us and he was there, was good enough. And so he's going to help us with the seals, since that is a Grand Design part? Okay, so he's going to help us with the seals on that. So anyway, that's that. Hope that you now have enjoyed the beautiful side of warranty work, which is our first video where everything went great, and then the second part of warranty work where parts didn't get ordered until I started harassing people. This is RV life, the good, the bad, the annoying, the fun. Anyway, we are going to finish setting up now to enjoy our last couple days here in Orlando, and then we're off on another grand adventure, and we're starting to head north after that. So I don't even know if I want to get into this subject, but what are your repair shop stories? The good, the bad? We'd love to hear them all. So don't forget to like this video and subscribe to join our getaway gang. We would definitely love to have you, and we'll see you next time. Bye, guys.